back for our daily MLB Best Bets here on Sunday, May 25th. We got you covered all day long for Best Bets, starting off with the very early game at 8:35 in the morning here on the West Coast and 11:35 over there on the East Coast in Detroit between the Guardians and the Tigers, all the way through Sunday Night Baseball in the final game of the night over in Queens at Citi Field. So again, 5 Best Bets for this full slate here on Sunday. And folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB Best Bets here on the channel. Yesterday night, we posted our Game 3 Best Bet and predictions for the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. Indiana up 2-0. We have made so much money on the Indiana Pacers so far this postseason, so make sure to go check out that video linked in the description down below, along with our UFC Fight Night Blanchfield versus Barber full card predictions. The UFC's back this week, so we got you covered over on Greedo Plays MMA. Go check out that video in the link in the description down below, and go subscribe to Greedo Plays MMA as well. Okay, on to the first of our 5 best bets for today here in the MLB, and we're going to kick things off with our best player prop of the day. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're going back to Tarik Skubal. Now, yesterday with the MLB Best Bets wasn't our best day. 2-3. Shout out to Ahmed Rosario. First at bat, double into left field, hit that prop. Red Sox again got us covered in the morning. It all went downhill from there, but we're looking to bounce back in a big way today, and thanks OKC Thunder for not coming through either. Regardless, I'm starting things off with Tarik Skubal here on the over strikeouts. Guys, I don't care what analytics and the metrics of what the Cleveland Guardians may or may not do in terms of striking out. That doesn't matter, and it doesn't apply when Tarik Skubal's pitching, okay? The last time we had a Tarik Skubal over strikeout prop, he was taking on one of the best strikeout teams in all of baseball, in the St. Louis Cardinals. That's a team that doesn't strike out all that much. The line was, I believe, 6.5 or 7.5 for Skubal, and he cleared it in 5 2/3 innings. Now, the line today is 7.5 for Skubal, and we get plus money for that prop as well. It is plus 115, and I'm willing to take it. Guys, Skubal has cleared this line in each of his last 5 starts. He's gone over 7.5 strikeouts. The last time in which he did not go over this was on April 20th against the Kansas City Royals, where he only had 4 strikeouts. But if you really want to go back that far, in 7 out of his last 8 starts, Skubal has reached this line. Again, last game against the Cardinals, 5 2/3, 8 strikeouts. Red Sox start, 6 1/3, 11 strikeouts. Rangers start, 7 innings, 12 strikeouts. Angels start, 6 innings, 8 strikeouts. O's start back on April the 27th, 6 innings and 11 strikeouts. That's all Skubal does. ERA is higher than it once was. It's at 2.87, but we know what Skubal does. He's one of the premier strikeout guys in all of Major League Baseball right now. He's 4th behind Mackenzie Gore, Zach Wheeler, and I'm missing somebody. I don't know who the 3rd is right now off the top of my head. But regardless, right, Skubal is in that elite tier of strikeout guys in the MLB. And sure, I get it. The Guardians have a lineup where they're not going to strike out much. And we always talk about the 2 premier guys in the lineup. Carlos Rodon is 3rd right now in the strikeout race. Regardless, Mackenzie Gore at 1st with 93. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, we talk about the elite 2 guys in the Guardians lineup all the time, right? We talk about Steven Kwan, and we talk about Jose Ramirez all the time. And sure, are we going to get strikeouts out of Kwan Ramirez? Maybe, but probably not. But at the same time, right, I mean, I know, again, Steven Kwan's a guy who's going to barely whiff on the baseball. He is the ultimate contact guy. He's going to put the ball in play. He's going to find grass in the outfield every time he touches the baseball. I understand that. But if there's a matchup that does favor the pitcher against Steven Kwan, it's going to be Tarik Skubal, right? And I know, again, the Guardians last year in the playoffs found some success against Skubal. Lane Thomas hit the grand slam in the ALDS to ultimately propel the Guardians to the ALCS. But the Lane train's not healthy right now. And again, I talk about the Steven Kwan matchup. Okay, Kwan's great, but Skubal's a lefty. We get left in that matchup, and sure, again, the J-Ram matchup, it is what it is. But guys, I am willing to pick Tarik Skubal against anybody. That's how good this guy is. That's the level of talent he has. He's the reigning American League Cy Young, and the Tigers are in desperate need of a victory. This is a 4-game set against the Guardians, and the Tigers, who at one point had the best record in all of baseball, I believe that's the Philadelphia Phillies now. By the way, the A's. Ooh, what a choke job yesterday. Anyways, bases loaded, no outs. They didn't get a single run to win the game. Regardless, I believe the Tigers now have the 2nd best record in baseball behind Philadelphia, but they're in need of a win. They've lost 3 straight to this Guardians team that's now 7 games over 500, and the Guardians are now only back the Tigers 3 games in the American League Central. So again, Skubal's at a point where his team needs to pick up a victory here, and I think he's going to give them that. I mean, we're not even going to look at the money line today. Detroit is minus 220 to win at home. I highly doubt they get swept, but where again does this all start with? It starts with Tarek Skubal. Skubal's got to be the guy to get this team going. He's got to keep the Guardians at a low run tally, obviously, and we don't care really about how many runs Cleveland scores. We just need the strikeouts. And again, like I mentioned earlier, I'm willing to bet on Tarek Skubal against anybody. I don't care what lineup it is. I mean, it could be the Los Angeles Dodgers. It can be a team like the Cardinals who don't strike out that much. I'm going to bet on Skubal. Casey Mize, 6 strikeouts through 5 innings. I mean, that tells me Tarek Skubal, yes, he's much better than Mize. Mize only threw 77 pitches yesterday and had 6 strikeouts. You give Skubal 6 innings, 5 innings, he should be able to get those 8 strikeouts right then and there. So I feel pretty good about this line. I'm going Tarek Skubal over 7.5 strikeouts. It's a line he's hit every single start in his last 6. He should be able to do it again here at home in this divisional matchup. Tarek Skubal over 7.5 strikeouts here at home against the Guards. Let's go on to our second best bet of the video, and we move to our first money line of the day. I'm taking the Milwaukee Brewers to win on the road here against the Pittsburgh Pirates, and for me, this is just, the Brewers are due to win one here against Pittsburgh. Guys, the Pirates are not winning 3 games in a row. Okay? That's just not gonna happen, right? It just will not happen. The Pirates, they found a way to win on Paul Skeens' bump day, something they have struggled mightily to do all season long. And then yesterday, the Pirates won a 2-1 game against Milwaukee with Mitch Keller on the bump. Again, they win the game 2-1. It was a big knock in the 7th inning, an O'Neill Cruz triple, which ultimately won Pittsburgh the baseball game. And the Milwaukee Brewers, yeah, this team struggles mightily at the plate. I'm not going to deny that, right? I mean, Christian Yelich, sometimes he's going to have his nights, hit a big home run early in the series against Pittsburgh. He went 2 for 4 yesterday, but on the season still, Yelich is only batting .205. Bryce Turang has been one of their better sources of output offensively, batting .269. Jackson Chourio, we're still waiting this season, batting .250. Contreras in the 250s as well. It's just a lot of mediocrity, I'm not going to lie to you, in the Milwaukee Brewers lineup right now. But if you want to talk about mediocrity, I mean, the prime example of that, at least hitting-wise, is with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yes, they won the game yesterday. They got out-hit 11-9, and O'Neill Cruz had a big hit late in the game. But still, guys, O'Neill Cruz bats .230. Again, uber talent. He's great. He's a bad defensive outfielder, and yeah, he hits the ball very hard like you saw at the end of the game yesterday, but that's one of their best sources of output on offense. And it's a guy who bats .235. And then it's a 30-plus-year-old Andrew McCutchen. And Brian Reynolds, who's having his worst season as a major leaguer right now, right? It's just, there's not much to really rely on Pittsburgh other than the fact that their pitching's great, right? We see that. We saw that yesterday out of Mitch Keller. He goes 6 innings, 7 hits, 1 run, right? We saw that the other day with Paul Skeens, and I thought the Pirates were going to choke that game away with Skeens in the bump, but they ultimately won it in extra innings, 6-5. By the way, the first game of this 4-game set was an 8-5 Milwaukee victory. But I look at the pitching matchup tonight. Bailey Falter's not bad. I mean, Falter's had a really good start in his last one against the Cincinnati Reds. It was a game in which we had Cincinnati, so I'm fading Falter for the second consecutive start here. But Falter in his last start against Cincinnati went 7 innings, 4 hits, 0 runs, 5 strikeouts. He was very good in that start. And Falter actually has not given up a run in about 17 innings. A little more, actually, about 20. He's due, man. He's due for a bad start, right? And I look at who the Brewers are starting. Okay, Logan Henderson, not a large sample size so far, but the 23-year-old from Houston, Texas has been really good this season for Milwaukee. Again, records for pitchers don't matter, but 3-0, right? 1.69 ERA in 3 starts, 23 strikeouts. Logan Henderson's been really good. We're going to detail all three of these starts right now. His last one against the Baltimore Orioles, 5 innings, 2 hits, 0 runs, 7 strikeouts. Cleveland start on the road, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 7 strikeouts, and you're telling me, again, Skubal's going to be able to get his strikeouts just fine, I would hope, today. And then his start against the A's in his first start of the year on 420, he goes 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 9 Ks. Logan Henderson's been really good. He's been shut down, honestly, as well. So we get 2 really good pitchers on the mound right now. At least, again, that's the way Falter has been trending recently. I don't really do over-unders, but the over-under's 8.5. I'm just going to be honest. I would expect the under to hit in this game. I think we might get another scenario like we had last week when we took Cincinnati to beat Pittsburgh and it was a 1-0 game. I kind of feel like that's the way this game's going to go, but I do think the Brewers are going to be victorious. Again, when I break this one down, I look, okay, Logan Henderson, Bailey Falter. I think these are 2 really good pitchers right now. I'm going to side with Logan Henderson. Again, guys, Bailey Falter is so due to give up a run. He's so due, honestly, for a blow-up start. 3 consecutive decent starts. I know there was one outing where he only went like about 4 innings, but still, he hasn't given up a run in about 20 innings. I would expect him to, again, Bailey Falter, I think he's going to falter eventually, all right? And we got to compare the lineups here. I know Milwaukee hasn't been cream of the crop so far this season, but I mean, compare that lineup to what Pittsburgh's putting out every single day, right? And all things considered, are the Pittsburgh Pirates winning 3 consecutive baseball games? Probably not. You know, that's probably just not happening for a team that's 15 games under 500. You know, I think what the Brewers still offer is better. I mean, Rhys Hoskins has been pretty solid this year, even though he went 0-for-4 yesterday with 4 strikeouts. But Churang, Churio, Contreras, I think we're going to be good enough today with the Milwaukee Brewers, and I really hope that Logan Henderson gives us another really good start, because so far, so good this year. He's 3-for-3 in terms of starts here in 2025. Let's hope for another good one today here against the Pittsburgh Pirates, against a bad Pirates lineup in all fairness as well. I think we should be okay here at PNC Park. I'm taking Milwaukee Brewers money line here on the road in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, -135 for the Brew Crew to get it done. Let's go on to our third best bet of the video, and we go to our daily Washington Nationals best bet, and we're taking Washington Nationals money line at +135. It's a big game today, right? The Nationals have split the first 2 here against San Francisco. The first one, a shutout win for the Giants, final score 4-0. Yesterday, a shutout victory for the Washington Nationals as the Nats win 3-0. And we'll get into that game in a second, but two very different stories in these first 2 games. Today the pitching matchup is Robbie Ray versus Mike Soroka. I'm here to tell you guys, Mike Soroka is a lot better than his ERA indicates, okay? Trust me on this. I think Soroka, I don't want to say he's underrated, but you can look at Mike Soroka's stats and say, oh, 5.95 ERA, 1-2 record on the season. And sure, that's not ideal. But Soroka's expected ERA, I believe, is around 3.2, I think, this season. So he's gotten severely unlucky. The stuff hasn't been bad, and I think we can take away from his last start, it was really good until it wasn't, right? Guy goes 5 innings, gives up, I believe, 1 run or 0 runs, and then just in that 6th, he wasn't the greatest. But as a whole, you look at Soroka's final stat line, 5 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, and 8 strikeouts against the O's, 0 walks. He's limited the walks this season. And yeah, his first couple of starts weren't great, but even the Cleveland start, right? The guy goes 5 innings. He's great through 5 against Cleveland. 5 innings, I believe 2 hits, 0 runs, 8 strikeouts, and he comes back out for that 6th inning. Stephen Kwan gets on, J-Ram hits a double, and all of a sudden he gives up 4 runs to the Guardians. But prior to that, Soroka was really great. And the Braves start is what it is. He went back to Atlanta for the first time. I'll forgive him for that one. But even that, 4 innings, 2 runs. Could have been worse, right? So I really think Soroka is just right there this year. And I really don't think that's being talked about right now. Again, jury's still out on the Canadian, obviously, out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. But I don't think he's been that bad so far this year. I think he's just a step away. It's not like we're in Trevor Williams crap territory, okay? Now, Robbie Ray for the San Francisco Giants gets the start. He's 6-0 on the year. The Giants did lose the last start in which Ray went out there. They lost a 3-1 game to the Kansas City Royals, in which Ray had pitched 7 innings, 6 hits, 0 runs. I think we're getting a case here of an overachiever versus an underachiever. That's really what this is, right? Robbie Ray's been good. ERA's 2.7, but I think he has been an overachiever this season, the 33-year-old coming off of injury, obviously. I'm not going to deny how good Ray has been. The month of May so far for him with a 1.38 ERA, he's been, again, excellent. I just think it's been a recent, look at the teams he's played. Colorado, 7 innings, 0 runs. The Cubs start wasn't bad, and then he ran into Arizona, gave up three runs in 6 innings, and then took on a Royals team that can get very stagnant offensively at times, and that's what Ray did against them. I think it's a very winnable matchup for the Washington Nationals. I look at what they did yesterday, and I got to give all the credit in the world to Jake Irvin. We really got to give this guy, applaud. We have to applaud Jake Irvin for what he did yesterday on the mound for the Washington Nationals. Something about Jake Irvin on holiday weekends. Last year on the 4th of July against the New York Mets. Yesterday, 8 innings, 3 hits, 0 runs, 7 strikeouts against the San Francisco Giants. Jake Irvin, he battled back against that dark magic that the Giants have and completely shut that team down. Guys, don't forget where Jake Irvin was last year halfway through the year. I was making the case, and I really thought he should have been an all-star last season. His ERA at the all-star break was about 2.3, and obviously, again, that got out of hand as the season continued. But Jake Irvin, after a rough start start to the season has been very good. Record 4-1, 3.42 ERA, whip at about 1 right now as well. I'm telling you, the turning point of this guy's season was after that first inning in his third start of the year against the Los Angeles Dodgers. He gave up 4 runs in the first inning against the Dodgers. Since after that, in that game, he goes 5 innings of shutout baseball, put the Nationals in a great position to win that game. They didn't, but still, ever since that start, Irvin's been really good, and Irvin has been by far the second best starter for the Nationals all year long. You combine that with the fact of, James Wood, that low line drive home run. I mean, what can't James Wood do at this point? And then shout out to Dalen Lyle. Huge hit in the 7th inning, the diving catch to end the game. Again, the Nats are back. We're 4 games under, and today, they can get back to 3 under. So I'm telling you, it's a really important game for the Nationals as they're trying to scratch and claw their way back to 500. And I think that's going to be another step towards that. Again, we look at a case here of an underachiever in Mike Soroka and an overachiever in Robbie Ray. Something's got to give. I think the Nats bats have been better than San Francisco. And sure, we've seen the polar opposites in the first 2 games of the series. A shutout victory in the first one for the Giants, a shutout victory in the next game for the Washington Nationals. I'm going to take the team that's at home. I'm going to take the team that we're getting plus money on, and I'm going to take the team I think has better bats right now, and that's James Wood and the Washington Nationals. CJ Abrams, by the way, is still 0 in the series. He's more than due. Robbie Ray on the mound at lefty. Well, the Nats dealt with Kyle Harrison and that lefty arm fairly well yesterday. Turn me up with Ahmed Rosario at the top of the lineup. He was more than fine yesterday, by the way, with our best player prop. I think the Nats are okay in this spot. I'm taking plus 135 for the Washington Nationals. Day off tomorrow for the Nats, and then on to the Pacific Northwest for Tuesday through Thursday against the Seattle Mariners. The Nats historically have played fairly well in Seattle, so we'll get to that when we get there. Let's go into our 4th best bet of the video. We go to our daily Nerfie of the day. Let's go to the south side in Chicago. We are going back to another Nerfie here in Chicago, Illinois. And honestly, I like White Sox Nerfies a lot. And I like them even more against the Texas Rangers, okay? Guys, the Rangers have hit rock bottom this year. It could get worse, but I don't think it gets much worse than that series they played in the Bronx. It was abysmal. They couldn't score runs to save their lives. Especially that last game, and yes, they got squeezed with their zone the entire game, but regardless, thanks Lance Barrett. The first 2 games in Chicago have been a disaster for the Texas Rangers. A 4-1 loss in the first game, a 10-5 loss yesterday. Oh, yikes. It's been bad for the Rangers. And I don't really care who wins this baseball game. I don't care at all. But we are taking the Nerfie in this spot. I keep pumping up the White Sox rotation for a good reason, I think. I think they're better than people think they are. They're 17-35 now as this team. But I look at the matchup we get today on the mound. It's Patrick Corbin, and I know, Patrick Corbin was the worst starter in baseball for years. He's not anymore. He's actually not close to a bad starter anymore. Patrick Corbin, guys, Corbin's going to get paid this offseason. He signed a $2 million contract because he wanted to keep playing this year, and good for Corbin, right? Keep it going. He did not give up after his massive payday in 2019 with the Washington Nationals. No, Corbin decided, all right, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna go prove why I'm still a decent pitcher in this league, and he's done that so far this year. A 3.5 ERA for Corbin. He's been more than serviceable for Texas. The Southpaw actually has been pretty solid, right? So Corbin's gonna get paid. He's probably gonna get a 2-year extension, or he's gonna get a look somewhere in the league. Like, don't be surprised if, I don't know, like the Marlins sign him. I'm serious. Like if the Marlins give Corbin a 2-year contract. I think Corbin's going to get us through the first inning. I don't trust what the Chicago White Sox have at the top of the order. I don't care that Meredith and Tauchman have been pretty good recently. I don't care. I'm taking the veteran savvy here of Patrick Corbin. I'm taking the southpaw with that slider, with the Corbin changeup. And Corbin's velo is actually up this year as well. I mean, hell, he's Spider-Man, right? Got bit by a spider, pitched anyway. Spider-Man. Here comes Spider-Man. I'm taking Patrick Corbin for the Nerfie early in that game, obviously, right? In the bottom of the first. Top of the first, Davis Martin. Guys, Davis Martin's been good, Davis Martin's been good. Sean Burke's been good in spots. I keep telling you about this White Sox rotation. Like, I like Martin, I like Burke, I like Cannon, I like all these guys. I just think their bats have been so horrible, and they've been given no run support this entire year. You look at Davis Martin's last, 5 starts, really, I'll say 4 of them are really good. And the ones I'll point out is the one against the Reds. He goes 6 2/3, 7 hits, 1 run. And that A's start, 6 innings, 3 hits, 0 runs. This guy's been a very good pitcher. The 28-year-old out of Albany, Texas, has been great this year. Davis Martin has been more than serviceable for the White Sox, and you pile that on top of the fact that the Rangers can't hit anything right now. They couldn't hit a beach ball right now. I mean, look at this team. I know they scored 5 runs yesterday. They got out hit 14-7 yesterday, and that was, a combination of the 6-run 6th inning from the Chicago White Sox. Benintendi and company went crazy yesterday. But I look at the top of this Rangers order and I see, okay, Sam Haggerty, Josh Smith, and Wyatt Langford. Josh Young in the 4, Jock Peterson now out with injury for a while. Not like that really changes much. Guys, Adolis Garcia is batting in the 8, Marcus Semion's batting in the 9. I mean, these are guys who were big parts of their World Series team in 2023, and now look at them. I mean, obviously, they're tied to a lot of these guys now because of what they did in the World Series and the extensions that they've given them. But man, guys, this was a Rangers team that was supposed to win the American League West this year. And I can't believe I'm saying this. It's going to be the Seattle Mariners. I don't care Brian Wu screwed our Nerfy yesterday. Thanks, pal. But, I think the Mariners are going to actually win the division. But we did think that last year, and they choked it all away. So, yeah. But I think Davis Martin's able to get the outs. Again, we said this the other day. If Sam Haggerty's your, biggest part of your offense, yeah, you're in trouble. All right, Josh Smith, good lefty. Wyatt Langford can hit the ball well sometimes. But honestly, I'm going to side with Martin, and I will never side with what the Chicago White Sox are putting in their lineup every single day. And I don't care it's Patrick Corbin. Patrick Corbin's actually been pretty good this season. So I'm taking the Nerfy in this spot. I think Corbin's going to be more than serviceable for us. Same with Davis Martin. Again, the underrated Chicago Whites rotation, and now the underrated veteran in Patrick Corbin as well. I'm taking the Nerfy here in Chicago, Illinois. We get -115 as well. I mean, I think these are great odds, all things considered. You will look at the shootout yesterday, the 15 combined runs, and say, oh, there's probably a run scored in the first today. I don't think so. I think it's a cool down spot here. I think Corbin and Martin are able to get us the outs. And let's get it done here in the south side of Chicago at 11 o'clock. Let's go on to our final best bet of the video. Nothing at the 1 o'clock hour. Instead, we go straight to Sunday Night Baseball. Mets versus Dodgers. Okay, guys, I hate the New York Mets. That's no secret. If you've watched the channel before, you know I despise this team. There's no team in all of professional sports I actually hate more than the New York Mets. The Atlanta Braves are a close second, I believe. Yeah, the Atlanta Braves are up there. But no, there's no team I dislike more than the New York Mets. I am siding with them to win this baseball game, though, today. And we can get into the Juan Soto thing, and oh, wow, Juan went 2 for 6 yesterday. Good for him, or 2 for 5. Great. The main reason I'm picking the Mets here is not because of the New York Metropolitans. I don't care what the Metropolitans and Grimace are putting out there on a daily basis. I look at Landon Knack pitching for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and I immediately point out the New York Mets to win this baseball game. That's as simple as it gets, guys. It really is. Landon Knack, with his 6 ERA this year, he is an automatic fade. The last 2 starts in which Landon Knack has gone on the bump for the Dodgers, we have faded him. We faded him with the A's at +180. We faded him with the Diamondbacks at +135. And both of those teams hit Landon Knack fairly well against Sacramento. 4 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 8 strikeouts, but it is what it is. And the Diamondbacks start 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 home runs. By the way, 2 home runs as well in the A's start. Landon Knack is an automatic fade. His fastball is no movement. It's a straight line, and it's very easy to hit. Okay, and yes, Knack will not be part of this rotation likely in the postseason. Just wait until they make their trades and they get all their guys back from injury. But for now, again, Knack's just one of those guys the Dodgers have to deal with, and they have to pitch him every 5th day. And for the New York Mets, I mean, Kota Senga, he's one of the best pitchers in the MLB. I think I saw on MLB The Show he did not get upgraded to a diamond. I saw people were mad about that. Anyways, I haven't played Diamond Dynasty in months and weeks. But anyways, Senga's been really good this year. I mean, you take away his last start, which I don't even want to say it was bad. It was just, you can't be elite every day. Senga against the Red Sox went 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. Prior to that, back-to-back shutout starts against the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Arizona Diamondbacks. 5 2/3 against the Pirates, 5 hits, 1 run. 1 run but 0 earned. And then against the D-backs, 6 innings, 2 hits, 0 runs. Senga's been really good. What can I say? I've never denied this man's talent. I know how good he is. I mean, I hate when the Nationals have to face this guy, even though, hey, the Nats did win when Senga pitched this year. That was the walk-off hit up the middle by James Wood anyways. Regardless, I think Senga's much better, obviously, than Landon Knack, and I get it. The Dodgers have a stacked lineup, especially with 1 through 3, obviously. Ohtani, Betts, I guess Teo's batting in the 3 now, but then Freeman, and then really when you get Will Smith in the lineup as well, I mean, yeah, they're just dangerous. But guys, I'm looking at Landon Knack, and I think that's easy money for the Mets. I think it is. Lindor batting 270. They put Starling Marte in the 2 yesterday against Gosselin. We'll see if he stays there. Then there's Juan Soto, who had one of his best days as a Mets, 2 for 5, 2 RBI, got the average up to 240. I mean, that's a great use of $700 million. Way to go there, pal. Way to go there, New York. And then Pete Alonso, obviously still batting in the 290s. I wish he was on my baseball team, but it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I feel like, again, I don't know if that's momentum for Juan Soto. I really don't. Again, I don't know what it is with Juan Soto. I think ultimately it's the fact that he is not enthused to play in Queens, right? He felt like he was enthused to play in DC. He felt like he was happy to be in the Bronx. I mean, a lot of people have said this. He's just in Queens for the money. It just is. That was made evident by the fact that he said he was upset that he was no longer hitting in front of the best hitter in baseball. You know, it is what it is. But pal, you signed the contract. You're there for the rest of your career. So have fun with that. I'm sure that's a great investment for the Mets, by the way. Just waiting like 5 years when he doesn't play the outfield anymore and he's a career 250 hitter. I have nothing. I don't want to hate on Juan Soto, but I'm just being honest. He's lost his joy. It's everything Jimmy Butler was complaining about in Miami. That's what Juan Soto is in New York, okay? That's what he is in Queens. But anyways, I think there's some momentum building for the Mets. I mean, they let the Dodgers win on Friday night, just like how the A's let the Phillies win last night as well in extra innings. So arguably the Mets could be up 2-0 here. They win yesterday. Great bounce back spot, right? Again, Lindor has been great this season. Juan Soto's just been whatever. Pete Alonso's been really good as well. Brett Beatty had a big RBI double in the 8th inning as well. I feel like the Mets are kind of there right now. I don't know. I still don't think they're as good as the Phillies personally. Hell, Philadelphia's got the best record in baseball. But the Mets are a really good team at home. They're 18-6 at Citi Field so far this year, and on prime time in Sunday Night Baseball with a bad pitcher on the bump for the Dodgers in Landon Knack, and the Mets having their ace in Kodai Senga on the bump. I think this really does favor the Mets and Grimace to win this game at home. So ultimately, I'm going New York Mets money line here on Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN at -135 to beat Landon Knack and the Dodgers. Again, when Knack's on the bump for Los Angeles, I don't care that they have Ohtani, Freeman, Betts in the lineup. No. With Knack's on the bump, it's an automatic fade, giving the New York Metropolitans to win at home here on prime time at -135. So folks, thank y'all for watching our MLB Best Bets here for this MLB Sunday on May 25th. If you have not yet though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video, and make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow for more daily MLB Best Bets on Memorial Day. We've got games all day long on Monday, so make sure to join us for that. Can't wait to fade the Giants first thing in the morning tomorrow. So folks, thank y'all for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more, and Mamba forever.